Good morning, everyone. Here is the Tuesday outlook and setup. Just a quick overview of what I'm looking at, how I am approaching the markets, and what I will be looking for to trade today, and what my observations are with regards to EU and GU and current price action. So you can basically see that from Friday, last week Friday, which is over here, these two lines, price has just been trending towards the downside. There's been no real pullbacks. Price has just been really pushing hard, not hard, but continuously pushing towards the downside. Small pullbacks, looks like it wants to push up and then pushes down again. And then we have some bullish momentum, but barely enough to make a decent pullback, and then it just continues towards the downside. Then yesterday at 9 a.m., I believe, more or less New York close or somewhere around that, I'm not exactly sure. We create the low of the day, and then we start pushing up again, creating a high low, pushed up again, broke the structure marginally with the body close, and now we're seeing this pullback again. So we'll look now at the Asian session as well to see exactly what the story is there. But this basically tells me that this could potentially, I'm saying this potentially be the low of the week, but I'm not putting my money yet on it. We could potentially see a deeper pullback now for the rest of the week. We could potentially see now this happening where we're at the low of the week on Monday, and then all the way to Thursday we have price pushing up, and on Thursday we have a pullback again into Friday. So that's maybe something that could happen, but we'll need to see. I'm not saying it's definitely going to be like that, but I am preparing for something in the lines of that. So Monday, big push towards the downside, and we have this price continuing down. We need to identify the liquidity areas. It's quite difficult to see exactly where they are because you can't really identify the imbalance because the wicks on both sides. There's no clear order block. The only thing that's clear is old highs and lows for liquidity, and we know GU likes to sweep liquidity. So on the 1 hour we have this previous day's old low. So we have the previous day old low, and then we have this kind of intraday old low. Look at that now. On the lower time frame, so let's just do it like that. So that's currently the situation. Okay, then obviously we have this intraday one as well that we have to just pay attention to. Let's go to the 15-minute. So this is also the Asian high and low that has been created. So this is also, we can see that the Asian session were not trending and was not ranging at all. It was trending, and now it's coming back down again. It's really a messy Asian session in the sense that we have big moves up and then a big move down. This is ideally what you want to see in an Asian session, something like this. But we're not seeing that now. But what we do see is price reacting from the bearish order flow reference points. So price is still expecting bearish order flow. So because we're expecting this order block, liquidity above, price tapped into it in the Asian session and then start pushing towards the downside again. So now if we want to take longs, we really need to see the shift in sentiment where price is more leaning towards leaning more towards following bullish momentum and bullish order flow. Otherwise, shorts is still more viable. But the reason I don't like taking shorts is because we are so low down. So if you look at the 4-hour, we're at the bottom of the scale. I would really like to see a pullback and then taking shorts, which would be more probable for me. But to be honest, currently, just at the current price action, does not look too clear. So we're expecting this order block liquidity above these areas, potentially going to take now the liquidity above the Asian low and possibly previous day's low. It looks like we're reaching for those areas, and then we'll need to see, possibly if we take longs, possible scenario that could be playing out is we sweep the liquidity, we create new structure, we break that structure, and then we make another move towards an order block, and then we see the bigger impulsive move towards the upside. So all of these will be minor structure breaks, showing us the intent to go higher, but this is still more riskier until we break this structure. If we break the structure and then get the pullback to something and then move up, that would be really nice, because this is the lowest swing point in this whole sequence towards the downside. But this, what I've just shown, is also possibly an option if we see that happening. Another situation could be we could just push down and impulsively and then pull back towards maybe something over here and then just continuing towards the downside. I'm not exactly sure what the fundamental current implications are towards the pound and the dollar, but I have seen that the pound has been moving much different to the dollar of the EU, euro dollar, of late. So we'll look at that now. It might be safe to trade EU. I don't believe I'm saying that. But those are the different scenarios that I'm looking at or anticipating, expecting to see how price will react in those areas. We place this psychological key level as well, 36350. This is just a possible area where price could just reach for. I think GU is fond of round numbers as well, so I'm just keeping that in mind as well. So basically, next up is EU. So let's have a look at EU. So here we have EU on the 1 hour, and looking at this last week's low, price really did sweep it, tried to break and close above it and continue lower a few times, but then we ended up with this big push towards the upside, breaking structure as it went along higher. Now we're seeing this complex pullback, and we have now also this area down here, and we have some imbalance there as well, which could then possibly be an area for price to react from. Some equal lows here as well. There as well, liquidity in this area. So definitely something like this is what I would be looking at on EU. I think this could be a valid option. We have this clear, unmitigated, untested order block in this area, bunch of liquidity above this range. You can see if we just pull this up. Don't look at this as support and resistance, look at this as liquidity. Let's make it yellow. Orange. This is liquidity, nothing else, not support and resistance. With liquidity above you can see price has been tapping into it, and that means people have sold here, and they sold here as well. So definitely there's stops above, and there's stops for those that see this as support and resistance. If price comes here again, breaks out, they will be buying it. So price is likely to go into this area. Of course, we have liquidity, we have imbalance, we have an order block, we have this impulsive candle. We broke structure. So there's a lot of things lining up for price to return to this area for sales, or just for price to reach this area as a draw for liquidity to pull price there. So that is my view on EU on the 1 hour. Let's have a look at the 15 minutes. Not looking bad as well. We have this range. We could possibly refine it to this last candle on the lower time from this last candle, possibly. And then we can also see the Asian range is relatively trending as well, which is good as well. So we have this Asian range high and low, and price is now about at the Asian low. So there's another accumulation of orders in this area. So I definitely think we can expect price to make some move in this, something like this. This could be the play of the day. But let's not just get our hopes up just yet. We can still see anything happening. These past few weeks, anything is possible with how price has just been manipulated and moving. But this is generally the idea that I have for this is yesterday's. Generally the idea that I have for today. So well, I'll just take you back to EU. There's a note there that I want to show for those that missed it previously in yesterday's video and for the YouTube guys. It's important to look for 1 hour liquidity points to trade from in the direction of the high time frame. And those points are order blocks, imbalance, highs and lows. So in GU's case, there's no order block that I can see in this sequence. So there's no no imbalance. There's only highs and lows. In this case, lows the price is reaching for. So we'll need to see how price reacts around those lows. Does it reject it, or does it just break through it and create a lower low? If we look at the 4 hour rate, look at the high time, we are bearish and expecting a pullback. If you look all the way to the left, price is below these areas, there's nothing there. Price is now moving into this area. So now you need to go and look at beginning of this year, February, and try to determine if you can now identify a valid area in this area. Or possibly you could say this low is the order block of that area. Pushed, priced up and broke structure after this sweep of liquidity into this order block. So you can possibly follow the mitigations like that and see this is the last unmitigated order block. So this is then possibly where price could be returning to. You can also take this whole series of down candles before the up movement, but then it kind of gets a bit too much, and we can basically possibly just take this down candles and take 50% of it as a good measuring point, and that's the midpoint, and we can possibly expect price to reach for that area as a low. And we can see we're quite some distance away, probably about 100 pips or so away, almost 100, I'm not sure. Let's quickly have a look. 50 pips away off of that, 50 pips away from that area. We know G can easily make that in 2 candles. So now we know there is more downside potential. So if we don't see any upside movement, you can see the 4 hour will close with this big wick. So all signs point to price just continue lower. So it's better for us to not try to force longs and look for longs, but rather see how we can find short setups, or just skip GU at all and just focus on EU, which might be a bit clearer. Okay guys, that's it from me this morning. I hope you guys have a great day. Yes, I think EU is a bit clearer and easier to read. Let's see if we can maybe capitalize more on that. And yes, have a great day.